Hello, 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 hello. How are you? This is Els coming from Bemis Crafty Corner. And today we hit this little guy. I know, it's so cute. It's so little. It is 3 inches by 2 inches. Has a little paper clip on it. And you can slide this onto a page in your journal. Just like that. And when you take it off, take off the pin, inside you have all this journaling space, right? And I went ahead and put lines on it because, because I can. But it's just a cute little journaling spot. And here's the best part. If you have these 6x6s, we all have them. Lots of them. You can get 2 out of every piece of 6x6. So I'm going to go ahead and clear everything out of the way. I'll come back with a supply list and we're going to walk through this. Totally beginner friendly project. We're going to get started on this in just a minute. I'll be right back. Alright, let's take a look at supplies for this. First and foremost, you're going to want some 6x6 paper. At least 3x6. If you don't have scraps that you can use, then your 6x6 pads, every piece is going to give you 2 of these, okay? So, pads. Some stuff to decorate with, some adhesive for that. You're going to want some paper clips, and they don't have to be fancy like these. You can, any paper clip you have, okay? Just a regular paper clip works. The standard trombone style is fantastic, okay? Some corner rounders are optional. You're going to want a scoreboard and some scoring tools. You're also going to want a piece of like file folder or 110-pound cardstock. Just any old scrap will do as long as it is at least, 3 inches long, because we're going to use it as a spacer on our board. And then we're going to want something to cut our paper with. So I'm going to get everything out of the way. I'm going to get some paper out, and we're going to get started making the basis for these. We're going to be doing a make-ahead style with no embellishment, and then we're going to be making a one project all the way to the end, okay? So I will be right back. First thing we need to do is pick some paper. This is Bow Bunny. It's the Boulevard collection. We're going to look and see if there's anything in here that I want to use. Now, I am currently working on a small journal. This is a very neutral one, so we can pull that one. But I'm currently working on a little paper bag journal, so let's go ahead and see if there's anything in here that we might want to use. This is very neutral. We could use that to do this. Let's see. Alright, here's just plain green. It's got a little bit of background to it. Obviously, this would be a good project for stuff like this, where you've got like little polka dots and things. And, if you're making it for a specific project, certainly, something like this with a decorated piece from your book, from your, from your whatever paper you're using, would also be good. This is just all like wildflowers and stuff, and I think that this is also going to be good for the project I'm currently working. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one of these. Put this away, and then we're going to do some cutting. Now here's the easy part. These are 6x6. We just want to cut them to 3x6. So make sure you know what your direction is, and then cut that down to 3. You're just going to cut them in half. Okay? This is the top, so I want to cut across this way. It's a directional paper. There we go. That's all the cutting. I'm going to get rid of the cutter, get out the scoreboard, and that scrap of 110-pound cardstock, and I'll be right back. Alright, so if I was using my big scoreboard, which I use when I'm making boxes and stuff because I need a lot more, I have this little jig that it's got 2 sides. It's a base, and then it has 2 sides, and one is really short. Let me show you. One is really short, and the other one is really long. And the long one goes on the outside, and the short one goes on the inside. And that is what I use when I am doing box lids, because they need to be just a hair wider, kind of thing. But since we're not using this one today, I can't use the jig. We're going to use this one because this is the one that most people have. Okay? The smaller one. So that's where this scrap is going to come in. We are going to take our paper and we're going to put it into our scoreboard, but we want to give it a little bit of room. So we're just going to put a piece of 110-pound cardstock right up against the edge and then put in our piece of paper. As long as we don't shift this, we can take this out. Okay? And then we're going to score this at 2 on the right side. Then we're going to shift it over and score it at 4. Let me tell you why. Because that is just going to offset it just a little bit so that when you fold this, it doesn't interfere. Okay? Now, if you want it to go the other way, and it doesn't really matter, but if you want it to go the other way, you'll reverse that process. You'll score it to 2 with it all the way against the side, and then come in, put in your piece of 110-pound or file folder or chipboard or whatever you're using, put that in, and then score at 4. Okay? And what that does is it actually moves it over the other way. So now that one goes in and this one comes over. Okay? And it prevents that from blocking it, you know. And you'll see there's just this little piece that hangs over on the outside here. And if you're not comfortable with that, just take it off. Just trim it off. Okay? Maybe. All right, I have my stack. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to do my folding. Now, it doesn't matter if you use cardstock or paper. Either way works. But I'm going to go ahead and fold these over, making sure that I have them lined up very well. And then I'm going to go ahead and burnish my folds. Once I have these all folded and burnished, then I can go ahead and do my inking. So I'm going to fold all of these, and then I'm going to go ahead and do my inking. And where I'm going to ink is, if I'm going to cut round my corners, I'm going to do that now. Okay, so then I'm going to ink all the way around the outside on my folds. And, you know, it's a personal choice, but if you want to ink on the inside as well. I'm going to go ahead and round the corner here as well, just because it makes it sit a little nicer in there. Okay, now I'm not big on inking on the inside, but you know, some people like that look. So if you like that look, then you go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and finish all of these, and then I'm going to ink them all, and I will be back, and we'll move on to the next part. Okay, I'll be back in just a few minutes. Now, if you're doing this as a make-ahead, stop here. Just cut them and fold them. Do not round the corners, do not ink, don't do any of that stuff, because you don't know what you're going to be wanting to do with these later on. So I have some of these that are pre-cut. They're made ahead. They're fairly neutral. This is just like little blue flowers. This is like a purple splotchy, some flowers, some florals that I'll use, you know, in different things. Some green, this little checkerboard, which is very neutral. And this, which is just really just kind of like a postcard kind of look. So these are all neutrals. Okay? So I'll put these in my make-aheads. There we go. So let's take a look at these. So I'm actually going to make this one, I think, and probably this one to go in the current journal that I'm working on. And then these two I'm just going to make pretty. Okay? So let's put those up there. I'm going to get out some embellishments to kind of work into the journal that I'm currently working on, and get out my pins and everything, and I will be right back. See you in a minute. I have some bits and pieces here, as well as my little bits box, okay? And this is some snippets, okay? And there's just some stuff in here. Super Dex blank index tabs. I'm not going to use that for this. Why? Because my theme here is, you know, and this is a small piece and this is a big piece, so we're not going to use that one. So you get the idea. I'm kind of picking to look and see what, if any of this, I can use. And I don't think I'd go with something much more than like 1 inch, you know, like 1 inch, 1.25 inches for these. So these are definitely too big, and I'll show you why. It kind of takes up, you know, it doesn't fit. Let's be mindful of that, okay? I've seen people put some really big stuff on some really little things. So, also, these are going to be going into, I'm thinking about the type of journal. It's going to be going into a botanicals. So, airmail and those kinds of things aren't going to really fit. If I wanted to do that, I'd use the postcard, you know? So, all we're going to do is take this, and we're just going to kind of figure out what, if anything, from here we can use. So I have a mushroom, and I'm just going to lay this out flat. It makes it a little easier to work on it. So I have like a mushroom, it says specimens, and I'm going to want to put some kind of ribbon or lace or something here. Let's see. Let's see. I think maybe a little piece of this muslin would be cute. You know? So I'm going to take this little bit of muslin, and I'm just going to kind of ink it a little bit, just to grunge it up. And then I'm going to use my 321. And put a little glue here. I'm going to add this. This has a little piece that needs to be poked out. A little bit. There. All right. And then I'm going to figure out the paper clip that I want to use and where I'm going to put it. Do I want it at the top? Do I want it at the bottom? And I'm thinking probably closer to the bottom. I'm going to use one of these little fat black ones here. Okay, so now I can slide that onto my page, and it's going to hold nicely, okay? So let's go ahead and we'll do the second one. So the second one is this floral one. Now this is more of a lightweight cardstock. It's almost paper. It's probably about 32 pound paper. So we're going to be a little bit more careful with this one. just going to add this. And then I think I'm going to use a rub-on for this one. This glue is the bog of eternal stench, I tell you. The only reason I'm using it is because I might use some fabric or some lace. Alright, let's give this a second to run down. Stand it up over there. I'll get some ribbon out for this. And what I have, the perfect piece for this. It is it's in my flower box. Let me grab that. Yep. So I have all these bows that I've pre-made. And I'm thinking, I kind of like this little gingham bow. You know? So, we're going to go ahead and glue this on. Get my piece here. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. Put some glue on the back of my bow. To be honest, that's pretty much good right there for me. And then a nice paper clip. And I can just slide that onto a page. So you can see a little bit of decoration goes a long way. And if you're doing this as a make-ahead, then, you know, stop here. That's it. Stop. Don't go any further. Because that is the base you're going to want to be able to grab and customize for the project that you're working on. Okay? So that's it. That's my little project for today. If you have any questions or anything, go ahead and put it in the comment section and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. If you're new, push the button. Check out my community tab. Also, go over to my Facebook group. Check that out. There is a link in the description box below. And stop by my Ko-Fi. See if there's a free digital over there you might like. And if you are so inclined, check out my Patreon. Until I see you again, stay well, my friends. Bye.